Hello and welcome. It is 7:30. It is the 8th day of July 2021. I am your often frustrated, but never quite surprised, grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM, and oh, sweet mother of toast, Jesus Christ on a pogo stick, TSR2 and 3 are in the news again, so I'm going to talk about it. So if this topic is as upsetting to you as it is to me, please stop watching now, because I'm sure I'm going to say something less than flattering. Until then, let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. Okay, in the never-ending story that is TSR over the last 3 weeks, TSR2 apparently has changed its name to Solarian, Solarian. They're the publishers of the top secret game, and that's the one that is at least somehow connected to Mrs. Gygax. And TSR3, the one that was started a few weeks ago by TSR3 founder Steven Deinhardt and Ernie Gary Gygax and a couple others, have changed their names to Wonderfilled Incorporated, which apparently they spelled wrong in the original tweet last night or yesterday. So as of this point in time, there is no gaming-related company using the name TSR. There's plenty of company using the name TSR, including the Midwest single largest retailer of concrete flooring, TSR Flooring. But in regards to our hobby, there is no companies currently using the name TSR. So if the whole thing was to milk the nostalgia market by using the name TSR, there's now no company using the name TSR. And in continuing level of astonishing ridiculousness, Steven Deinhardt announced that he has blocked WOTC and Hasbro on Twitter after, because things couldn't get ridiculous enough. He posted a thing saying, "Dear Wizards, I'm Twitter breaking up with you this morning because of politics. I've loved you since I first heard someone running you. Sadly, you won't be able to read this because, like Hasbro and Wizards, you are now blocked." So, and as I said, TSR2 rebranded as Solarian because TSR3 sniped the name and trademark of TSR. So we've gone from 2 TSRs to 0 TSRs in the pace of 48 hours. And as far as Wizards of the Coast is concerned, there is no proof. There's some conspiracy floating around that this is all Wizards of the Coast masterminding it by copyrighted imagery and going after both of them for using the name TSR. But frankly, I don't think Wizards of the Coast actually cares. And it doesn't feel like Wizards of the Coast has done anything in regards to this or said anything that I can find. Also, the mysterious PR officer that was hired by TSR3 has vanished, so nobody knows who that is. His name was Michael. I assure you it wasn't me. If it was me, I would have done a better job. So, there we go. Apparently, because of all the shindiggeriness of what TSR3 said and did, and this Steven Deinhardt guy, Deinhardt guy, continuing to dig the grave even further because, he blocked Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro and D&D from his Twitter. Like Hasbro and Wizards and D&D care? Oh no, you blocked us from your Twitter. We can't see your raving posts about us. There is now no longer any company associated with the words TSR. TSR3 has rebranded itself Wonderfilled, which apparently they spelled wrong. And TSR2 has rebranded itself Solarian. Pretty sure there already is a company or something out there called Solarian. Wonderfilled Incorporated? How much do you want to bet there's already a Wonderfilled Incorporated out there, guys? Just because the way this is going, yeah. So, yeah, there we go. In a matter of less than a month, TSR has risen from the grave, managed to further damage the already crumbling world of RPG and damage the name and nostalgia associated with the word TSR, self-destruct itself, and then change its name in the hope that, I guess, everybody will forget what they said and did over the last 3 weeks. Because if you just change your name, you're not responsible for what you did yesterday. I guess it's like the Clark Kent Superman glasses thing. If they're wearing the glasses now, they're no longer TSR, they're Wonderfilled, and they can't be associated with what their other personality did yesterday because, oh, that wasn't us, that was TSR, and I don't know. What do you think this is gonna, oh God, why? Just, I don't even understand anymore. This is bad comedy. It has surpassed tragedy and circled back around to just really bad Shakespearean tragic comedy. Is waiting for Guffman levels of tragic comedy. So yeah, but despite all my blathering, this basically leaves us with no company associated with role-playing using the name TSR. TSR3 still, I guess, holds the copyright, though, which means if you were thinking of sniping in and grabbing it, you're going to have to wait at least 3 years before the refiling is up again. Was it for copyright, 3 to 5 years? I'm not sure. I have to look that up. But I know they've got the name for at least a bit. But that doesn't really matter because anybody can use the words TSR. Because TSR Concreting, and the single largest retailer of concrete flooring in the Midwest. So yeah, TSR is as a word, as a name. If you wanted to start a company called TSR, you could. I guess there's imagery you can't use, or I don't even know what holding the copyright to TSR means right now, because yeah, like I just said, there's other companies called TSR. What's more important, I guess, is who holds the copyright to the name Gygax. Is it TSR2 and Miss Gygax? Is it Gygax the band? Is it Luke Gygax? Is it Ernie? Who's got the rights to that one? Because that's the name. If you wanted to milk it, you would call one of these companies Gygax Gaming or Gygax Incorporated, whatever. I assume Wonderfilled is still planning on making their Dungeons and Dragons Museum, which of course they can't call it the Dungeons and Dragons Museum because the words Dungeons and Dragons are owned by Hasbro. And their Dungeons and Dragons theme park, though again they can't call it a Dungeons and Dragons theme park, they can call it a Dungeons and Dragons inspired theme park. As for what this means product-wise from Wonderfilled, we still know that they're trying to get Giant Lands out on the table, and that's just facing hurdle after hurdle. They claim they're trying to do the space game that they don't have the rights to the name to, so or the art. They don't. So even though they're going to say, "Hey, we're making this space game," actually you can't, because with Hasbro owns the rights and copyrights to all the names of all the product associated with TSR. And the only company that they have licensed to do third-party recreations is, Goodman Games with their remakes. Is it Goodman? I think it's Goodman. It's probably not Goodman. Isle of Dread. Yeah, it was Goodman. Okay. Who did their, reprints of Isle of Dread and Keep in the Borderlands and Expeditions. So, yeah. No TSR2, no TSR3. Wizards of the Coast, of course, is being blamed as the evil, mustache-swirling bad guy, but really we have nothing anywhere saying Wizards of the Coast has anything to do with this. And as far as we know, I haven't seen anything where Wizards of the Coast has said anything. If they did send them a cease and desist, it would have been over artwork that they own the rights to. But other than that, that leaves us with the mysterious forthcoming possible release of Giant Lands eventually, and other projects that they say they're going to release, but they can't release because those names might be associated with Hasbro. And, of course, the Memorial Tomb and the Hobby Shop Dungeon of Ernie Gary Gygax's fame that he has been trying to get on the market for at least 5-10 years now, but has repeatedly failed. So, yep, it was a disaster, trash fire. I know I made this great little thing like a week ago about how I thought this was all brilliant networking and use of the internet to use bad press to your advantage. But yeah, no, nobody is this Machiavellian clever to create a series of disasters this outrageous and with some long-term game where they actually come out ahead. You know, we're talking James Bond master villain manipulation to somehow make a success out of the 3 weeks of disaster that has been TSR. So yeah, I don't know. I take that back. I'm sorry. There is no great master plan of media manipulation. This is just a bunch of people who probably should never have been allowed to get near a microphone or Twitter, and probably, you know, hindsight being 2020, it probably would have been better off if you just never used the name TSR and just called yourself something else. I don't know, Ernie Gary Gygax Publishing, Giant Land Games, the Hobby Shop Dungeon Publishing House of, I don't know, any name but TSR. And I have a feeling the damage would have been a little less. And also, none of the people associated with TSR3 probably should have been allowed to get anywhere near public communication forums like Twitter, the internet, or, you know, anything. And until they had a PR guy. Of course, you know, they don't have the money to get a PR guy, but they could have apprentice some PR kid from a local college to do it for them for free in exchange for credit and free shit. Yeah, what a disaster, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to stop blathering about this because I've run out of words. I've literally run out of words. I did not know when I went to bed last night that I would wake up this morning talking about this again. Yeah, how did this happen? We don't know. Bad press. People are going to blame Wizards of the Coast, but frankly, in this case, I think Wizards of the Coast has nothing to do with this. You probably think I'm wrong. Anyways, let me know what you think, and hopefully now this means that the story is over. Of course it doesn't. And in other news, water's wet. Talk to you later. I'm your grumpy guy to all things gaming. If you appreciate this content, comment down below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Help me hit the goal of whatever the goal is, 475 by August 4th. And now let us go outside and enjoy the sunshine, because I have a feeling this is just going to keep getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder.